So we're jumping into some Battletech Tactica here, continuing our discussion of vehicles, of combined arms, of tanks, of infantry. This idea in the Battletech narrative that while mechs are king, there's a lot of other supporting vehicles. And there's a lot of glory, there's a lot of tabletop glory to be earned as a mech commander, commanding tanks, commanding infantry, commanding more conventional weapons. So the focus, as we build our Tactica checklist, we see this idea with mechs, specialized mechs versus generalized mechs, especially in the medium, heavy, and assault class, where now we have some tonnage. Yes, light mechs, there are some specialized machines, but for the most part, you are very, very minimized with the tonnage. It is what it is. But this idea of taking all of your tonnage, all of your battle value, and piling it into something primary and leveraging that primary aspect through redundancy, focus fire, and really trying to mount everything into that. Two examples, and they're favorite mechs of mine. If we look at the longbow, we're going to take as much LRM and pack it in there. If we look at the awesome, we're going to take as many PPCs and pack it in there. Compared to more generalized mechs, maybe like the Battlemaster or the Cyclops or the ultimate pinnacle of mechs, the Zenith, the Atlas, where it can engage at a variety of ranges and has answers to everything. So we see something similar with vehicles. Obviously, with the lower end tonnage, something like the Scorpion, Quickcell's number one product. It's got that light autocannon. It's got that light machine gun. What it lacks in quality, it puts down in quantity. But certainly as we move up the echelon of tanks, you start to see specialized tanks. Two examples that I love and play. And if you don't have these tanks, I'm giving you permission right now to get these tanks. Fantastic tanks. The PPC carrier, the Shrek, and the Demolisher, dual autocannon 20s. Both of these tanks have very, very powerful weapons, inner sphere weapons, exact complementary on the opposite ends, the bookends. Long range, 3 PPCs. That's got bite. That's going to make an awesome cry. That's going to make other mechs. If you can get that carrier hull down with that turret, nice field of fire, not moving, cutting down on the modifiers, that's got some spice. That's got some bite. Likewise, the Demolisher has the armor to demolish. The counter foil to that is it's very, very short ranged. So what we see with specialized vehicles, and this is the Tactica point, where they're different than mechs, not only in battle value, but in delivery and Tactica. With specialized mechs, with specialized vehicles, if you get caught out of that band, if you get caught out of that echelon, you're in trouble because you've got nothing back to fall back on. Look at some other battle tanks, say like the Rommel or the Patton, where you've got some primary weapons, you've got some secondary weapons. There are tanks that have a mix. Now, obviously not as much as a mech, but they have a mech. They want to operate at a select range, but if you find yourself at other ranges or confronted in other scenarios, you're in a lot of trouble. The perfect example, and this is a great vehicle, the LRM carrier. Real-time 20, 40, 60 missiles out on the table, but no turret, paper-thin armor, not even an attempt to throw in a machine gun. If you get caught, you might as well abandon it. I mean, you're in a lot of trouble. You've got nowhere to go. This is the challenge with specialized vehicles. They don't have the mobility of mechs. They don't always have the speed. We'll put hovers aside for a second. They face certain challenges through different types of terrain where mechs don't. And the biggest thing is they have to worry about motive hits. So as a mech, as long as your legs are up and functioning, you're good to go. Vehicles, it's part of their design philosophy, and to simulate the differences between the two, they take motive hits, which represents the drivetrain, the engine, the tracks, the wheels, that literally motive taking damage, getting misaligned, braking, it slows you down. You cannot easily redeploy. You cannot easily regroup, whereas a mech you can. So when I get caught, I'm going to try my best, but when I get caught with my longbow in a very, very interesting place, I can redeploy. I can get the heck out of there. Vehicles, it's much harder. So that's the challenge in playing specialized vehicles versus focused vehicles. The challenge also there is with those specialized vehicles, you save a lot of battle value. You get a lot of bang for the buck. I mean, look at discounting the little head laser, small laser in the Awesome. You're putting down essentially the same range and firepower as an Awesome for a fraction of the battle value. The Shrek PPC carrier is a terrifying tank, one that you can utilize. You have to build that checklist to be able to use it effectively and not get caught, because all that specialization is harder to recover from when compared to a mech.